good. You're good. Oh, yeah. Okay. We have 14 people on the 14th. Good. Okay, simple. Come randomly. I think I got a tired of a mason jar. I just took a drink and it's like metal. Jar? Well, because like every once in a while it starts to taste like rust. Switch jars. You're getting hard on my sleeve. They have a heart on them. See? Happy Valentine's Day. Thanks for coming to yoga. Just a quick note about the camera. Don't worry about it. I know that we've said this before, but the only person who's going to see the video is my teacher, my assessor. So they're not really watching you. They're watching me. And now that we finally have Kelly here, he's a professional, the video will work. It's like we've taken so many videos and either like the battery runs out or like you can't hear me or so. Kelly knows what she's doing.
Get Kelly.
Yeah, so just, pretend she's not there and walk by the camera at the end of class and be like, that was the best class I ever changed my life. Anyway, for Valentine's Day, we're going to do the love class. We talked a little bit on Tuesday about the rasas. So for some of you that's new, but some of you have heard about it. The rasas are 9 essential emotions. And the yogic mind is very systematic, and so we split them up into 3 columns of 3. And one of those rasas is love. But there's 14 different words for love. There's the romantic love, which is mostly what we're celebrating today. There's the love of devotion, the love of longing. There's that fierce kind of love that slaps you around. And for any of you who have ever experienced love in any of those forms, you know that it can quickly turn to anger. And anger is in that same column right at the bottom. And again, there's lots of other ways of describing anger. So, pretty much any emotion you can feel, we can fit into one of these 9 categories, which to me doesn't seem like very many. But they're all different vibrations of the same energy. And so love and anger or irritation, even violence and rage are considered related because it's the stuff that really matters to you that you get upset about. And so the way the rasas work is there are these experiences on the top that are the ones we typically prefer, and the ones on the bottom, which we typically don't. And the ones in the middle are like gateways. And so the rasa of courage is how we transform those feelings of anger, irritation, rage, jealousy into an experience of love. And what is courage? Courage is like being deeply rooted in your own heart. Courage is moving into a challenging situation and believing in yourself, trusting yourself. So these experiences or these rasas of love and courage and anger, they all vibrate right around here, right? Not here, not here. So there's like, a million songs about love, and they're not necessarily all about the same thing, but they all hit you kind of right here. My teacher, Bill Mahoney, he translated these sutras called the Bhakti Sutras, and Bhakti you could translate as devotion. And so a lot of these sutras are also about love. And in one of the books he was reading, there's a passage about the beginning of the universe. And the way he describes the beginning of the universe from this passage is that in the beginning there was one universal consciousness, and you could think of it like an unending sea of golden light. And out of that one consciousness there came a pulse. And he describes this pulse as a love yearning. So not just a love and not just a yearning, but a love yearning. Oh, that sounds so sweet, right? This is a nice story. And the way that I would translate it to you is that for each of you, your heart beats. You all have this pulse inside of you. That's like a yearning. And in this story, the love yearning, it's a yearning to know oneself. It's a yearning for that unending, uniform sea of consciousness to know itself, to experience reality. And so you too have that yearning to know yourself and to experience life. There are things that matter to all of you, people that are really important, stuff you want to say, experiences you want to have. And it's when we don't get what we want that we get upset. But it's really easy to ignore even very basic yearnings, like the yearning to go to the bathroom, or like the yearning to drink some water. These are sometimes the easiest ones to ignore, like if you have a job or you have kids, right? It's like, how often do you not acknowledge those very basic needs? And this is one of the most basic ways that we can love and care for ourselves. And so this love yearning, first we have to make space for it. The very foundation of this practice is that there's actually nothing wrong with you. And so the things that you want, the stuff that's really important to you, it's legitimate. You can open up to these pulsations inside you. And the more that we do that, the more we make space for our own desires, the easier it is for us to know what it is we want. Because sometimes that yearning, it's like we can't even name it. We don't even know what it is. We're like, I know that I'm unhappy, but I don't know why. I don't know what I want. And so these rasas on the bottom of like being upset or frustrated or sad or depressed, they're not bad. It's not like we're going to eliminate them by doing yoga, but just instead we learn to see them as signals that we're, a little off. Something is not quite right. We're not totally lined up with our desire, or it's our heart sort of calling to us. Saying like, there's something more, there's something different that I want. And it's in our practice that we first make a space for our own yearning, for our own desire. And when we courageously acknowledge and listen to that, then more and more we can act in our life from a power of love. The more that we can love ourselves, then the more we can offer to other people. I'm sure you've heard that, right? And it's so simple. Just go to the bathroom when you need to. And you'll have a lot more to share. Like if you're not like constantly irritated because you're not getting what you need, right? And so it's in our practice. Like I totally support you all in like getting Valentine's Day cards for the people that you love. But it's like the first thing is that we make space to love and acknowledge ourselves. And when we do that, then we offer so much back out. So you can close your eyes and rest your hands on your thighs. We start our practice by listening to our breath. It has that quality of pulsation. Let it fill you and expand you from the bottom to the top, from side to side, front to back. And as you exhale, let it release completely from the top to the bottom, side to side, front to back. Bring your hands together in front of your heart to acknowledge yourself as a great being. It's so cool and so special to be alive as a human, to be you. This morning we'll just chant the sound Om 3 times. And as you chant, you can feel how that vibration resonates through your body, especially in your heart. Take a deep breath in. Now, with deep love and respect to our own hearts. Okay. Lower your hands, open your eyes, and come onto all fours. And start to stretch in any way that feels good. Some cat-cows or moving your arms and legs. Listening to the pulsation of your breath. Tuning into how it feels in your body this morning. And making space for your own personal intention. You all came to class for some reason. And even if it's unnamed, not clear, we create a space to honor our own purpose and intention. At the bottom of your next exhale, come to a neutral spine, just hands and knees, and plant your hands up at the front of your mat. And walk your knees back so you come into a puppy pose. So halfway between child's and downward dog, so your hips will be right above your knees. Let your elbows and forehead rest on the floor so that it's fairly relaxed. Your elbows rest all the way down, so first you can just soften into the toes, just all the way. Notice your breath. Notice your spine. And on your next inhale, expand into the back of your ribs and your waistline especially, almost as if you were rounding your spine towards the ceiling so that the very bottom of your ribs actually lift up. Keep that nice and lifted, and then stretch your arms out in front of you like you were going to drag them back so that the undersides of your arms lift up. Your elbows can lift up, shoulder blades lift up. Take a deep breath to fill the back of your ribs underneath your shoulder blades. And as you exhale, let the space right in between your shoulder blades soften. Press back down through your hands. Reach your hips back. Good. Curl your toes under and press up and back. Downward dog. In this practice, we learn a lot of details and techniques, but if you never get any of them, it doesn't really matter. The most important part of the practice is the first step. To soften and open. Breathe into the backside of your body. Allow it to lift up and expand, even as you open your chest and get a big stretch. As you exhale, step your feet forward to a forward bend. Inhaling, lengthening your spine. Exhale down. Bend your knees if you need to touch the floor. Do that a few times to warm up. On your next exhale, place your hands on your hips and inhale, long spine, come all the way up. With partners, I think we have an even number. I'll just show you quickly. You want to be my partner? All right, so face me. We'll hold wrists and step back. So make your feet a little wider than your hips. And she'll bend her knees. And we'll reach our hips back. See how our arms are going overhead? Okay, so that's stretch number 1. And then we'll look at each other to come up. That's important. The stretch number 2 is just holding wrists. And same thing. So you want to pay attention to your partner. I'm not wrestling with her. If I pull really hard, that's not love. Right? So I'm paying attention. But I'm also going to give her my full weight and lean back. Yeah, and she's going to give me her full weight. So that if we did let go, we would fall. Okay, and then we twist away from each other, either hand to the knee or reaching up. Yeah, and then really lean back. You got it, girlfriend. Just go for it. I won't let you go, I promise, because I love you. All right, and then eye contact is important to come up. All right, and you'll do both sides. So go ahead, find a friend. Hold wrists. They're colored. Ginny's her friend. Make sure there isn't anyone right behind you. Yeah, and let your arms go overhead so you get a nice stretch in your back. Go back, Amy. You're not squatting all the way there, you're reaching your hips back, so your arms are wide. Yeah, you got it. Inhale to come up. Good, so really let your head relax. You got it. And then right wrists. And really lean your hips back.
Oh, that
yes,
feels really
nice.
good.
And twist.
I feel like my arms are going
All right.
Yeah, so rather than pulling,
Weather?
you want to keep your hips stable.
Oh, it's stable.
Yeah, so lean your hips back. Hello. Try to stay up, but your hips reach over.
Man, that's really good.
Yeah.
All right. Did you do both sides?
No.
Yep. Try the other side if you haven't done it already. Have fun. Gaze lovingly at your partner. It's Valentine's Day. Good. And then one more partner stretch.
Very great.
Come up. So, one more partner stretch. Stand side to side. High five. So facing opposite directions. And give it, again, you're not wrestling, okay? You're just giving each other equal pressure. Heads and the arm bones lift up, shoulder blades on your back, and nice soft chest. And then turn your feet and your chest away from one another. It's similar to what we do at the wall. Yeah.
That's great.
Oh, man.
Yeah, just give yourself a nice sweet stretch in your chest. Inhale to come back. Other side.
Too low for you? No. A little too hard. You're going this way.
Inhale to come back. Thank your friend.
Thank you.
And come back. Back to your mats. Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
So you can offer those to all your friends at work and home. As you inhale, your arms come up. As you exhale, bow all the way forward, touch the floor. Move with your breath. As you inhale, nice long spine. As you exhale, bow. Place your hands, step back, downward dog. I'm turning down the heat. Inhale forward into a plank pose. So finish each breath. As you exhale, come all the way down to the floor. Uncurl your toes. Inhaling forward and up into a cobra. Guess what? As you exhale, up and back. Downward dog. Nice deep breath. As you exhale, step your feet forward to a forward bend. Press down through your feet, sweep your arms. Inhale up, touch the sky. Exhale, hands in front of your heart. Even if it's unnamed, you acknowledge your intention. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, bow all the way forward, touch the floor. And by moving with our breath, we move from that power of love. Place your hands, step back, downward dog. Just by listening to your breath, you make space for your own longing, for that pulse that moves you. Inhale forward into a plank pose. Exhale all the way down. Uncurl your toes. Inhale into a cobra. Finish your breath. And as you exhale, up and back. Downward dog. Next, exhale, step your feet forward to a forward bend. Inhaling, long spine. Exhaling, bowing. Or if you're up, you can just be up. That's fine. Good. Place your hands on your hips. Inhale, come off the way. Roll your shoulders. All right. Hands on your hips. Feet hip distance apart. When you take a deep breath, something happens, right? Our whole rib cage will fill up. And if we're having a really rotten day or feeling kind of icky, it might look sort of like this, and it'll actually be more difficult to breathe. So we call that inner body dull. You can also be inner body dull, like crappy day. Nobody got me a Valentine. And so then, when it's like, well, but I'm going to acknowledge my own yearning. We take a deep breath in, and it's actually softening. We make space for our own breath. And the side of our body, so the space from your hip bone to your underarms, it gets longer. Okay? It's not so much a muscular action as it is just a deep breath. Next step is that the heads of your arm bones, the very tops of your arm bones, will lift up and draw back. Yeah. Shoulder blades will just nestle right onto your back, which is different than going like this, right? This is aggressive, right? That's how we start to go down into that other vibration. If I wanted to pick a fight with you, right? This is how I do it. So it's just a very soft action of the shoulder blades nestling on the back. On the top of your throat. Everybody walk like an Egyptian a little bit, so head forward and back. Forward and back. Yeah, so it's just a sliding of your head back to lift your chest up. There you go. This is how we act. Move through our life from the power of love. That's it. All right, bring your arms into a cactus. And bow forward slightly to breathe. Yeah, if you need to move so that no one's next to you. There you go. Bow forward slightly so you breathe into the whole back side of your body. Expand the backs of your ribs like you were pressing your hands down, like you're lifting yourself up out of the pool or something. And then keep the back of your body nice and full. And from your fingertips, draw your shoulder blades onto your back and move the top of your throat back. So it's those same 3 actions. Good. Start to stretch your arms up, but you keep a little resistance, like you were pulling something down. You feel your shoulder blades plug onto your back. Keep that, even as you stretch up. Good. Turn your thumbs back. Curl your chest open. As you exhale, bow all the way forward. Uttanasana. Inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling, bowing. Place your hands, step back, downward dog. Nice deep breath. First, make space for your own longing. So almost like you were going to come out of your dog, like you were going to round your spine. Fill up, especially in your waistline. Especially if you tend to have some low back pain. So really keep your waist and your low ribs nice and full. Then press your hands down into the floors if you were going to drag them back so that the undersides of your arms lift up too. You feel your shoulder blades plug on your back. Now keep your waistline full. Shoulder blades on your back and space right in between your shoulder blades. Let it soften. Press back down through your hands. Reach your hips up and back. Inhale your right heel up. Exhale, bring it forward into a lunge. Press down through your feet and bring your hands up on top of your front thigh. First step is always to listen, to make space for your own longing. Listen to your breath. And if you feel unstable, it's okay to put your back knee down or just engage your legs more. That's it, especially the back leg. Now, press your hands down into your thigh to inflate the back side of your body, arms into a cactus. From your fingertips, like you were pulling them down, get your shoulder blades on your back and keep that even as you stretch your hands up towards the sky. Reach your thumbs back. Top of your throat moves back, and then you curl your chest open. You open to all that you already contain. Touch the floor, really beautiful, downward dog. I know you're like worried about the video, but like really, the assessor's gonna be like, dang, you got some babes in there. Inhale your left heel up. It's just radiant. Press down through your hands, reach back through your heels. Good. Bring it forward into a lunge. Press down through your feet, bring your hands up on top of your front thigh. So first you make space, even in a very simple way, to situate yourself in the pose so that you can have an optimal experience. Lift your back thigh up so that you're nice and supported, then bend your front knee more so you can have an opening. Inflate the back side of your body. Cactus arms. plug in courageously to the power of your own heart, and it's from there that you expand. Stretch out. Reach your thumbs back. Curl it open. Just let your heart be soft. Offer what's already there. Touch the floor. It's beautiful. Downward dog. Inhale forward into a plank pose. And pause. Come onto your knees if you need to. Same thing. Waistline stays full. Lower ribs stay lifted even as you melt your heart between your shoulder blades. Then come down. Nice. Uncurl your toes. Same thing. Press your hands down into the floor like you're dragging them back. And do you feel how the very tops of your arm bones will lift up and move back? So like this. So now soften your heart. There you go. Then come up into your cobra. So like you're dragging your hands back, the heads of your arm bones lift up, drop back, and right at the tips of your shoulder blades, good Jane, there's a curling open. Right here, soften as you exhale, come up and back, downward dog. Good. As you exhale, step or jump your feet forward to a forward bend. So in Chinese medicine, the different seasons are associated with different elements and sounds. So this is water time, and it's the sound associated with water is groaning. Do y'all feel that? Like that stretching sensation of like, it's almost like thawing water. Place your hands on your hips. Lead with your heart. Long spine. Come all the way up. Roll your shoulders up. Take your feet as wide as your mat. Clasp your hands behind your back. And you make space. Deep breath. Yeah, if we start hard or muscular or aggressive, it's like doing the pose from the outside in. And it can make us upset, actually, over time if we keep practicing that way. It'd be very aggravating. And so we have to lighten up a little bit first and literally back off. Yeah, and breathe into the backside of our body. Now, bend your elbows like you can put some energy into it, like you were pulling something up with your hands so the heads of your arm bones lift up and draw back. It takes courage to stay plugged in to your yearning, especially if it's unnamed, right? To believe in yourself. So stay plugged in even as you bow forward. Bend your knees slightly. Inhale, long spine, side body long. Bend your elbows more. Yeah, lift the heads of your arm bones forward, then up. Plug in, then soften your heart and move from there. Yeah, start to stretch your arms straighter, but without compromising the connection of your shoulder blades on your back. Yeah, nice big stretch. Good. That's it, Elizabeth. Release your hands, touch the floor. Downward dog. Deep breath to fill in the back side of your body. That's it, Amy. Shoulder blades on the back, like you were dragging your hands towards you. Good, Sharon. And then inhale your right heel up from your chest. You press down through your hands as you twist your hips open. Bend your right knee. Stay plugged in, especially on your left shoulder. So keep lifting your left shoulder. Courageously move from the power of love. Inhale forward into a lunge. Lower your back knee down. And bring both hands up on top of your front thigh. And pause. Then engage your legs. Keep your back leg nice and strong even as you bend your front knee more. It's sort of like this. Right? But you can do it. Now, bring your hands behind your head. Okay, so not your neck, but right at the base of your skull, and then hug your elbows in like they were blinders. Yeah, so all the way in towards each other so that your elbows are pointing towards the front of the room. So like this. And then like someone had their hands on your elbows and they were pushing them straight back. Shoulder blades on your back. Now keep your shoulder blades on your back, right? Now this is like one of those tricky situations where what you want is challenged. So you're going to keep your shoulder blades on your back even as you press your head into your hand and open. Yeah, there's a little bit of tension there and you might get upset about it, right? But courageously you'll stay plugged in even as you stretch your arms straight. If you feel like you're getting aggressive with yourself, just back off a little. Good. Start to reach your thumbs back like you're sliding your arms behind your ears and let your chest lift up. Touch the floor. Beautiful. Downward dog. Nice deep breath. Inhale your left heel up towards the sky. Waistline full. From your chest, press down through your hands, twist your hips open. Bend your left knee. So keep your right shoulder nice and lifted, even as you melt your heart. Bring it forward into a lunge. Lower your back knee down, hands up on top of your front thigh. And remember, why you came to class in the first place. It's like, it can sound like a really big thing, like connecting to the power of love, like your deepest longing in life. But really, it's just like, what do you want to get out of your asana? How do you want to feel? You don't have to force yourself to do anything uncomfortable. Side body long. You make space for your own yearning. And if something is uncomfortable or doesn't feel good or you start to get angry, that's just a sign. Then maybe you need to make an adjustment. Hands on the back of your head. Yeah, hug your elbows in. Tuck your shoulder blades on your back. Now keep that, and then pressing your head into the back of into your hands, you'll start to lift your chest up, so you curl your heart open. Now stretch your hands up. Good, so there's a play there of being strong, but also being soft. Maybe even smile as you open your beautiful heart. Touch the floor. Down your toes. Inhale forward into a plank pose. Exhale all the way down. And rest. Hooray! Does anybody want help with Cobra Pose or really hate Cobra Pose?
I hate it.
You hate it? All right, cool. You can be the demo girl. Because it'll help you. It's what I just did to you, actually. All right, so watch. If you can't see what I'm doing with Meg, then you can stand up or come closer. And we're going to just help our friends do these actions of side body long, heads of the arm bones back, shoulder blades on the back. So she can just rest for a second. Because what'll typically happen, especially if we're being aggressive in our cobras, we'll just try and press straight down. And when that happens, do you see what's happening with my shoulders? They go like this. And that doesn't feel good. No. So all I'm going to do, she's going to take a ride first class, is I'm going to place my palms underneath the heads of her arm bones, and I'm going to sweep them forward and then up. And she just relaxes, okay? She's not going to do anything. Okay. So I'm doing the muscular part. Can you see, Elizabeth? Yeah, and she's doing the softening part. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale, release. How's that feel? Feels better? Now, slowly we're going to transition. So she's going to now press her hands down like she's dragging them back. And now keep that softness right here. Beautiful.
High, too high?
No? Does it feel too high?
It's higher than I've done, I think.
Whoa.
All right. So come on down. So find your friend. And you'll place your palms underneath your arm bones. Forward and up. Cobra friend, just relax. Take a ride. First class. Just relax. So go rather than wait pull around.
Push my shoulders.
Forward and up.
Oh, yes.
And then you just right there.
Good. Yeah, it's good.
Very nice.
Wow, look at you.
And then slowly transition to let your friend do their cobra. Yeah.
All right, that's good. Thanks.
And switch it.
Keep you up there.
Wow.
Switch friends. That help? Yeah.
Just with a little red fruity.
Oh, yeah.
No, man.
You want to go get
Is that not even your friend?
Why all these?
Yeah, you're lifting and not letting go. Let's go back
lower back? It's on the back bend.
It's weird.
Hold on for her. Get more breath. It's easy to kind of collapse it.
Yeah, it's tricky, but we'll keep learning it. All right, come onto your bellies. onto your bellies. And what starts to happen, I'm sure that most of you have had this experience, when you start doing yoga, your injuries get a little worse before they get better, right? And that's usually because we feel more. We get more circulation. We start to make space, and the injuries are like, you haven't been listening to me for like 10 years. I'm like, okay, I have all this stuff to talk about. I'm like, I'm sorry, I've been ignoring you. All right, so try your cobra now on your own. Nice cobra. Yeah. And pretend that your friend was there. Drag your hands back so you plug in courageously with the power of your own heart. All right, cool. Now bend your right knee and reach back. And do you feel how you want to collapse? Like this to grab your foot? It actually gets easier if you can stay plugged in, I promise. Yeah, good, Amy. That's it. Release. Come onto your right forearm. It's harder from your hand. That wasn't fair. That wasn't nice. All right, and lengthen the side of your body. Head of the arm bone lifts up and draws back, then reach back. And if you can't touch your foot, it's okay. Just wave it. Good. That's great. Release. Press up and back, downward dog. As you exhale, step or jump your feet forward to a forward bend. Nice deep breath. Hands on your hips. Inhale, come all the way up. All righty. Handstand or handstand prep. So find a spot at the wall. Oh, is it bruised a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, so then maybe just today rest it. Okay. Thanks. Yeah, just do another puppy or something. And then as we're doing downward dogs, if that starts to feel like too much weight, you just come onto your knees for puppy. Okay, so for handstand, we're going to work on this action. Anna, would you want to show your handstand? I'll help you. Okay. Yes. Come to the side where you can see. All right, so come into your handstand. When you're ready, I'll help you if you need help. Okay, so we're just going to do all the same actions. She's going to really poof into her waistline. Poof, poof, poof. Yeah, she's going to hug her forearms in to stay plugged in. And now she's going to just soften her chest towards the floor like she was trying to stamp, so not her waist. That's going to stay full. But like she was just reaching her chest towards the floor. Wow. Yeah.
That was cool.
Take her word for it. Let's all try like this. Stand like this. So you're in handstand, reversed. Okay, take a deep breath into the backside of your body. And then from your fingertips, shoulder blades on your back. And now look up towards the ceiling like you're, without bending your elbows. So without compromising the things that are important to you, you keep your arms straight, but now you let your chest move up towards the ceiling. All right, cool. Try that upside down. Yeah, without collapsing in your waistline. Yeah. This is how you become a Jedi. So you can do this in handstand prep as well. Try it. Yeah, and use a friend if you need help. And don't use that door.
No.
Yeah.
It's like the actually. Yeah.
Stand to the side.
Wait till Vera gets up.
Sorry. I'm on your way.
Last time I tried.
I think you have something. Yeah.
I was wondering if you'd see Vera.
You can do it, Jay. All right.
Sorry, I didn't mean to take over. It just kind of happened. That's it. Yeah, I think if you're, yeah, you'll be just fine.
This leg? Don't do it.
You're welcome.
Oh, you can do both legs.
I'm so close. Yeah. Yeah, maybe like you're stamping your chest to the floor, like you're
Jane,
starting.
you're so good.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as you start doing it,
Easier side for you, Jane.
Well, it's like out of control.
Yeah. And so some of that's just
There you
it's
go.
all strength.
That's it.
Yeah,
Right there.
to really hug the midline, so it's like that scissoring. Can't hurt to your walking on the left.
Oh, okay.
You did it.
Yeah, like pulling them
See
together.
when I
Yeah.
put my hand here, that you feel that part of it?
Oh my God. Right here. Like I just not do my finger. I did the same thing when I was kicking up. I was just like laying there, and then I was like, oh. Yeah.
As I was doing that, and then the person grabbed me, and I was like,
Oh,
flopping all over.
Wavy day.
That's it, look towards the floor.
Especially if I try to get up and I don't.
And
it's like,
it's like I wear out.
yeah, exactly.
Everybody get a chance to go?
No, I didn't.
Go. And then everybody else comes back.
They all went
And face this direction. Good, Bar, that's it, yeah. Left toes forward, right toes open. Parsvottanasana. Pause for a second with your hands on your hips. So that we can all catch up with each other. It's all that love. Just gets everything all exciting around here. All right, when we go into side angle pose, sometimes it's a little confusing what to do with our left arm. So left toes forward, right toes open. Bring your left arm right alongside your ear. So like you're stretching your fingers up towards the ceiling. This is side angle pose arm. This is what we do with our arm. But it can feel a little like our head gets heavy and it's weird and like what do we do? So bring your hand forward slightly. Okay, side body long. You take a deep breath. You fill into the back of your body. Now from your fingertips, shoulder blade on your back. Keep that even as you sweep your arm alongside your ear. It's like you're moving your arm behind your ear and right at the tips of your shoulder blades, you curl. Top of the throat moves back. That's how you come into your side angle pose. All right, the temptation is going to be to move your hand back. Does that make sense? But we move from the heart. Bend your right knee, forearm on your thigh. Just start with your left hand on your hip. Take a breath. Notice how the right side of your body wants to get short. So press your forearm into your thigh to lengthen the right side of your body, like you're moving your right rib cage towards your thigh. Shoulder blades on your back. Now stretch your left hand in front of you towards Main Street. Same thing that we just did. From your fingertips, shoulder blade on your back. And then sweep your arm right alongside your ear. Yup. Reach your thumb back. And this is where we do that weird rotation thing. Like your biceps moving back. Yeah, you feel that? And that's going to help even while this is moving up. So keep your this. That's it. So you move from the heart. Press into the floor. Inhale up. Other side. Bend your front knee. And just rest first. So this week, I'm really fortunate to have my brother who's totally opposite of me. He's like a computer nerd guy.
I saw you walking on the street.
You thought it was my boyfriend, it was my boyfriend. Yeah. So he came to my yoga class and he's like, all that like moving from the heart stuff, that doesn't make any sense to me. Explain that. And so it's really very simple. It's just making space for what really matters to you. So, and like literally, moving from the core, from the center of your body rather than from the periphery. So bring your hand straight out in front of you. So even if you don't get it on an emotional cosmic level, you move from inside out. So rather than focusing on getting your wrist really far back, get a big opening in your chest. Curl it open. Good. Press into the floor. Inhale up. Yeah.
Marie, we have an appointment.
Sorry.
There's a classic excuse to get us.
Okay, that's fine. You're excused. All right, first side again. Left toes forward, right toes open. And bring your hands to your hips. So triangle pose is similar in that the arm can start doing weird things. So stretch your left arm straight out to the side. Okay, so this is triangle arm. Now we might be tempted to bring our hand back, right? But instead, you're gonna bring it forward slightly, shoulder blade on your back, and move from here, right? So the top of the throat moves back, chest curls open, all right? Now bring your hand to your hip. Pause. Inhale your arms back up. Exhale, Trikonasana. To the right. Just start with your left hand on your hip. Same thing, lengthen the right side of your body so you make space for your breath. You make space for your own longing. Then stretch your left hand up towards the sky and bring your hand forward slightly, like you're pressing it forward. And from your fingertips, without bending your elbow, you draw your shoulder blade back. Yeah, now top of the throat moves back and you open, literally, from inside out. What's already there, offer it. Press down, inhale up. Second side. Inhale up. Exhale, Trikonasana. Just start with your hand on your hip. Pause. Take a breath. Move your waistline back. Ribcage back. So the whole back side of your body is full. And stretch your right fingertips up towards the sky. So you press your hand forward slightly. Yeah, to draw your shoulder blade back. So give me a high five. Good. Keep that even as you draw this back. And then you lean back. Ah, very nice. Press down to inhale, come up. First side, one more time. Trikonasana. Inhaling up. Exhale into the floor. Left hand on your hip. Now as we move into more complicated situations or scenarios in our life, it's like sometimes life gets really exciting. We learn to stay plugged in, even just to our breath. Keep your back leg engaged. Shoulder blades on your back. Heart open. It'll want to collapse down towards the floor, but keep it turning towards Main Street, even as you bend your right knee and step forward. Step your right hand forward. Ardha Chandrasana. There you go. If you start to get pinchy, weird pain in your right hip, try turning your belly and chest more towards Main Street. Yeah, and rather than moving your hand back, you curl from the heart open. Stretch back through your heel to come all the way down. Other side.
Rachel, when it hurts in your hip, what do you do?
Everybody just bring your legs together for a second. Go like this with your leg. See how it rotates? That's the rotation, is that you're rotating.
Mm-hmm.
But do you feel how that's different? Like when you're rotating your leg, you're just rotating your foot. And how when you plant your foot,
Okay.
you're rotating your whole body. And some of that's going to be strength because your whole body and your leg weighs more than your foot. Yeah, so that's a lot harder. But that's the action. It's going to be turning from here open.
Okay.
Okay, take your legs wide. Trikonasana to the left. Because that's a really common thing. Or you just come down. Trikonasana to the left. Go for it. And as you're ready, stay engaged in your back leg. Turn your belly and chest towards Main Street. That's the rotation we were just talking about. And then step forward. So notice when your right hip drops towards the floor. Yeah, that's it, Kathy. Good. And so you move from inside out so that you connect to what's important to you. And with love and self-respect, you open it up. Stretch back through your heel. Come all the way down. All right. Come to the front of your mats. Inhale your arms up. So you exhale back all the way up. Inhaling long spine. Keep your spine long. Have your fingertips out in front of your toes, a couple inches. And like you are picking something up off the floor, from your fingertips, your shoulder blades go up towards the sky, but that space right in between your shoulder blades softens towards the floor. So bend your knees if you need to, so you can get all your fingertips on the floor. That's fine. So you keep stretching your arms straightish to get your shoulder blades on your back, but then melting a space right in between your shoulder blades. Yeah. So you want to get your chest soft before you bend your elbows. Place your hands, step back, downward dog. Inhale your right heel up towards the sky. Exhale, bring it forward into a lunge. Lower your back knee down. Bring both hands up on top of your tailbone. Pause and take a breath. Inflate into the back side of your body. Take your hands towards your hip crease and press down. So right on the upper part of your thigh. So both hands on your right thigh. And press down into your thigh to lift your belly up. Yeah, waistline moves back. Bend your front knee more. Keep that as the arm bones lift up and back. And now your choice, either stretching up or reaching back. And if when you're reaching back, you start to compromise the side body or collapse, it's more important that you honor yourself, that you stay full and expansive than making a big shape. So you move from the inside out. I'm going to touch the floor and switch sides. So downward dog, inhale your left heel up. Exhale, bring it forward into a lunge. So you move with your breath. Lower your back knee down. So even if your yearning is to make that bigger shape, you really want to hold your foot one day. Right? We do it in a way that's honoring, that feels loving, rather than forceful or aggressive. Right? Those have different vibrations. So you stay full in your back body so that there can be a sense of pleasure and joy in the experience rather than abuse and torture. The floor, really nice poses, child's pose. Inhale your right foot forward into pigeon prep. Come up onto your fingertips. All the stuff we talked about last week still applies. You thought I forgot about your legs. So all that stuff too. Keep your legs strong. And same thing, in the forward bends, it's also easy to collapse our lower back. So you keep your waistline nice and full and your heart expanding as you bow forward. Now come up to your forearms first. Like you're dragging your forearms back, side body long, shoulder blades on your back. Soften the space between your shoulder blades and either stay either on your hands or your forearms, or come to your forehead and stretch your arms all the way out in front of you. If you can get your arms straight out in front of you, press them away from you. So it's like downward dog a little bit. Keep your shoulder blades on your back, even as you melt your heart. So take your hands a little wider. And keep lifting forward and softening. That's it. That's the play right there. Inhale up, other side. Yeah, so then come up a little bit. You don't have to go so far. Side body long. Flex the arm bones up and back. Shoulder blades on your back. Down forward. And even if all of those little details sound like listen to your breath. Honor yourself. Your yearning is natural and legitimate. Make space for what you long for. Even if it's unnamed, you listen. Inhale, come up. Come all the way onto your bellies. And onto your forearms. Uncurl your toes. So bring your elbows forward so that you're propping yourself up like a sphinx. And drag your forearms back, side body long. Shoulder blades come on your back, and then just let your chest be soft. Like when your friend had their hands on your elbows. Let your sternum, this bone right here, move forward, especially the very base of your sternum. Yeah, start to curl forward. Bend one knee and the other, and reach the easy hand back. And then the hard hand back. Good, and use the action of side body long, head to the arm bones up and back to reach toward your foot. And if you can't get your foot, you just wave at it. Good. Hug your knees together, bend your elbows, and then curl your chest open. Nice pose, release. All right, since it's Valentine's Day, we're doing lots of partner work. So I'm going to show you a really fun way to do this with a friend. We did it on Tuesdays, so some of you did. Did anybody really love doing this and want to try it again? Does anybody really? Oh, we didn't do this? Oh, okay. Does anybody really want Dhanurasana? You like this one? Okay. So Marie, I'm going to let Marie come into her Dhanurasana. Come to the side so you can see. So come where you can see. So go ahead. Come to her Dhanurasana. And now she's got to flex her feet.
Good.
I'm going to sit on her feet. It looks so much worse than it is. All right, I'm going to sit right here. And I'm going to do the same thing that we did in Cobra. Okay, so I'm going to reach her arm bones up and back. And now I'm going to just keep pulling my hips back and her shoulders forward. How's that feel? Yeah, it feels like first class. That's awesome. And now she can just really be in that state of love and expansiveness. And I get a nice stretch too. Okay, and then release. And let me just show you something. If your friend has a hard time reaching their legs, so release your, and bend your knees. Another way you can do this is you sit on their feet and they can reach towards your calves.
Your calves.
Yeah, so if you can't quite reach your ankles, then you can just reach your friend's calves. And you can do the same thing.
How much weight do you have on her feet?
You can. I have barely any, but you can go full, and it feels nice. And you can just adjust into the pose and check in with your friend. Try it. It's fun.
I know you want it.
Okay. Let your friend come into the pose first.
Very
So let your friends come into Dhanurasana first. Flex your feet.
Well, put your knees closer together, Kathy, if you can.
There you go.
Okay.
And now, heads to the arm bones. How's it back?
My hands are right
Oh, it does feel good. Does it? Yeah.
There you go. How's that feel?
Is there a chair?
Yeah,
Yeah, really sit.
Oh, yeah. You're gonna love this.
Oh, I think I'm going to be taller.
Holy crap, how tall am I going to be when I
have longer arms.
Oh, because Anna left. I'm like, how good wow.
Yeah.
And now you can just be like, all right. Try to, well, you can do it 3 ways too.
You can do it.
Okay, so.
Yeah, so, like 1%.
I think next time I would have my feet would want your shoulder blades, and I think I would hold them back.
Yeah, so your friend
So I could
helps
get
you get that support. There you go.
Opening
Ready?
Thank you. Be smiling and
All right, everybody get a chance to go? Yeah, go ahead. Come back to your mats.
Yeah.
Oh, you think? Thanks, Ginny.
Yeah, it is. It's like you're on the prow of a ship, right? All right, come onto your seats. Stretch your legs out in front of you.
I like it because it keeps like the tail down.
Stretch your legs out in front of you. Bring your hands behind you. Come on, and just notice when you put your hands flat. It's not bad, but what happens to your shoulders just makes it a little harder, that's all. So we learn these techniques to come up onto your fingertips to make space for ourselves. You know, it's like in our life, it's the same thing. We just learn, things that we do maybe habitually that just make it tougher for us to breathe and to hear. So we come up onto our fingertips. And doing all this partner work, it just makes things easier, right? So it's like, yes, we love ourselves. And when we love ourselves, when we're taking care of ourselves and we have what we need, we can help our friends. And, it's like our yoga practice together. I mean, I wouldn't be doing all the stuff I'm doing if you guys weren't here. Thanks. Bend your right knee, wrap your left arm around. But stay up on your right fingertips so you can stay nice and long. Keep your left leg active. Again, don't worry so much about the outer form of the pose. As you inhale, you make space by lifting your spine up, moving your waist away from your thigh. So your belly moves away from your thigh a little bit. Then right at the base of your shoulder blades, lean back, top of the throat back. Let your chest curl open. And then every breath, you go a little deeper. Inhaling up, exhaling, twisting open. Look over your right shoulder. There you go. Inhale to release, other side. Twist. Move from the inside. So when we start moving from the outside, that we might think that our inner longings, like that private voice inside, is wrong or bad, because it doesn't look right. It's not what other people want. But in our practice, we make space for those natural longings that rise on their own. It's part of who you are. Inhale, release. Come into your backs. Bend your knees. Have your feet hip distance apart and parallel. First, bend your elbows, fingertips up towards the ceiling, and press the back sides of your arms into the floor so you feel your shoulder blades come on your back. Your upper spine, in between your shoulder blades, will lift away from the floor slightly, so I could slide a little pencil in between your shoulder blades. Mm-hmm. Now keep that even as you stretch your pinkies down towards the floor. So you feel how even as you straighten your arms, there wants to be a little curling. Your shoulder blades want to come off your back. So it's that quality of courage, believing in yourself and honoring yourself that allows you to stay plugged in. Inhale, your hips up, bring your feet a little closer together now. Hips up. Mm-hmm. And now either just keep pressing your pinkies into the floor like you were dragging them back, or clasp your hands. If you've got your hands clasped, stretch your arms straight. press your pinkies into the floor and like a backhoe, pull them towards you so your arms stay straight. You can tuck your shoulder blades more on your back. As you exhale, stretch your knees towards the front of the room. Keep hugging your knees in. To lift your rib cage up more vertical.
Should they actually touch?
No, just moving towards each other. Open the front of your throat. And then just bask in that quality of love and self-respect. Come all the way down. Knees together, feet wide apart. All right, your choice. Same pose again, or Urdhva Dhanurasana. Please, so everybody feet hip distance apart, parallel, and either, same thing, arms by your side, or place your hands alongside your ears. Now, one thing for Urdhva Dhanurasana is we'll tend to tuck our hands in real close. Your hands should be as wide as they are in downward dog. So if your pinkies touch the sides of your mat in downward dog, get them touching the sides of your mat here. And that might mean that the base of your palms don't quite touch, but that's okay. If you're doing Urdhva Dhanurasana, hug your elbows in. It's just like when we had our hands on the back of our head and plug your shoulder blades on your back. So hug your elbows in, shoulder blades on your back, then press to come up. If you're doing Setu Bandha, walk your feet towards you, Sharon. It's the same thing, shoulder blades on your back. So you stay plugged into what matters to you and you move from the heart, from your chest, press down into the floor if you're in Urdhva Dhanurasana. Stretch out through your knees. Good, so now you hug these in. Yeah. More knees, start to soften. Beautiful. Good. Nice, Sarah. And then release. Hooray. Take your feet wide apart. And roll your knees to the right. Same thing, your waistline stays full, so you feel how your left waist wants to move away from the floor. Keep it moving towards the floor, and let your left shoulder be heavy towards the floor. Inhale up, over to the other side. You can adjust this stretch, it's also a thigh stretch, also a slight back bend, by moving your right knee more towards the front of the room, so like you're sliding your right foot to the right. Or you can slide your right foot to the left to make it less intense. So that's how you can adjust. Inhale, come up. Have your left leg flat on the floor, clasp your hands behind the right thigh. Bend your knee, and first just first pull your leg towards you. Again, not wrong or bad, but notice how when you do that, it shortens the right side of your body. It can feel, we might have this temptation after doing back bends to want to just hug our knees right towards our chest, but I'm going to suggest that you don't do that. It's kind of dangerous. So by pressing your thigh into your hand, do you feel how you get length on the right side of your body? Especially in that part in your low back that might get a little tweaked when you do back bends. You want to really keep working your right hip away from your shoulder at the same time that you're drawing the heads of your arm bones up and back. So that even though it's focused on the hip and the leg, you can still get an opening in your chest. Then stretch your legs straight. So let your arms go all the way straight, Sarah. Yeah, there you go. Or straightish. And how's your back? No, the neck can lift up. Yeah, feels okay? All right, good. Slowly lower that leg down. Other side. First soften, make space for the sensations even of your own body. It doesn't have to be cosmic if you're a computer geek. Just make space for what you want to get out of the practice so that as you expand and open, you offer yourself an experience that's loving and sweet. And then you'll feel nice and you'll be able to really be available for all those people, all that work that you love, all those puppies. Does that feel okay? Good. And release all the way down. Bend both knees towards your chest. Open your arms into a cactus or a T. If you're bumping into stuff, you can move props. And roll. So bring your feet all the way up off the floor. And roll your knees to the right. Similarly, you can adjust where this twist hits in your spine by moving your knees up or down. And so in that way, by listening and being curious, you can offer yourself an optimal experience. And even if you're in that place of like not really being sure, you can stay open to your breath and the sensations. One way to make more space is to move your left waistline back, top of your hip away from your shoulder, and keep allowing your left shoulder to be heavy towards the floor. So you get a big stretch all along the left side of your body. And then you just bask. Inhale up, over to the other side. Reach through your knees towards your feet. And take your knees and your feet wide apart, like you're drawing your knees towards the floor, and rock back and forth like the happiest baby in the world. Roll to your side. Come all the way up to a seat. You can put both feet. And we'll just take a seat for a minute or two. If you need to grab a blanket or sit on a block. Rest your hands on your thighs and close your eyes. And bring your awareness around the space of your physical heart in your chest. No assessment or judgment, just an observation. What feels? What's pulsing there? Listen to your breath moving in and out. Maybe you can even feel your own heart beating. Each of you has this quality of love, yearning, things that matter to you so much. Imagine something, a person, a place, an event, something that generates that quality of love for you. Something where there's no question, no hesitation. And if you can't imagine something, just focus on the pure sensation of love, yearning, even just your own yearning to know yourself. Focus on the area of your chest as you imagine whatever elicits that experience, that state. How does it feel? Does it have a color? A shape? Let this state of love spread through your whole body. So that you can be in that state of love. And then your choice, you can either stay seated for meditation or come onto your backs for Shavasana. And then slowly you can start to adjust. You're lying down, you can move your fingers and toes, arms and legs. If you're sitting, you can stretch your legs, move your shoulders. And as you're ready, you can bend your knees one at a time and roll to your side. Just rest the on that. And then come all the way up to your side. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. When we roll to the right, our heart is on top. As we come back into our life, literally moving from the heart, honoring that physical organ of pulsation, that place in our body that seems to generate feelings of love and longing, where we root ourselves for our courage. All of you have something very special to say, to offer. All of you have a unique way of seeing and experiencing the world. And it's through this practice that we make space for our own quirky, unique experience and our own longing. And by acknowledging that longing, we get to know ourselves better, and we can act from the power of love. A self-love and a self-respect, and then also an offering back out. So I thank you all so much for coming. Happy Valentine's Day, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste.
Namaste.